Η Ολομέλεια της Επιτροπής Ανταγωνισμού συνέρχεται σήμερα.
Since its establishment, the Hellenic Competition Commission has decided on numerous cases. We have been raising awareness on competition, law and policy, and investing in the tools necessary to get our job done, making markets work for people. Here are some examples of what we have been doing.
Our gas case on abuse of dominance in the supply of natural gas and access to the transmission network transformed the Greek market from a pure monopoly in 2012 into today's open and competitive environment. In this case, the HCC accepted a set of commitments with a duration of 10 years by the then incumbent company importing gas into the country. These commitments proved to be a decisive remedy for liberalization, triggering the entry and rapid expansion of new competitors and laying the foundation for sustainable competition in the market. The commitments were designed to open access by gradually releasing reserved capacity at the transmission network entry points, enabling competitors to participate effectively in the natural gas market, safeguard unbundling by separating gas supply from gas transportation services, and enhance customer choice by granting greater freedom in negotiating annual contractual gas quantities. In close cooperation with RAI, the energy market regulator, the HCC also introduced electronic auctions of natural gas offered by the incumbent at a cost-based reserve price. These auctions significantly increased market liquidity and further stimulated competition. The commitments were revised and amended several times to reflect market developments. In 2021, the HCC accepted the company's request for exemption, concluding that the objectives of the commitments had been achieved and that the market was sufficiently liberalized.
A recent cartel case was in the sector for the provision of Tug Services, a cartel case involving market allocation and price fixing agreements and covering the biggest ports of the country, a fascinating case to work on, mainly for two reasons. First, from a legal procedural perspective, the case started as a criminal investigation and the evidence used was collected by the prosecutor in accordance with the legal procedure for the lifting of the secrecy of communications. We, the HCC, got access to the evidence directly from the prosecutor on the basis of the general provisions of the Greek Code of Criminal Procedure, and to make this happen, the case team was involved in strategic decisions and coordination mechanisms with the criminal authorities. Second, an important case from the perspective of deterrent and effective enforcement of competition law, since it raised complex legal questions of attribution of liability. The undertakings involved were consortia of single-vessel companies, which throughout the infringement period would leave one consortium and join another, following most of the time the sale and purchase of the tugboat itself, while some of these consortia were dissolved and even the tugboats retired by the time the HCC decision came out. We were called to make sure, from a public interest perspective, that this hardcore violation would actually be attributed to an entity that could not escape the fine. What did we do? We applied the Sumal case law of the Court of Justice beyond the field of private enforcement, and so we applied the concept of economic unit to these consortia, together with the doctrine of economic continuity as an exception to the principle of personal liability. After all, the case amounted to multi-million fines, hopefully with an enhanced effectiveness as a deterrent.
The construction cartel case is a landmark in Greek competition law enforcement. For more than 2 decades, from 1989 to 2012, a large number of companies, including the leading corporate groups in the public works sector, colluded to rig public tenders for major infrastructure projects. To this day, it remains the most important bid rigging case in Greece. It was also the largest cartel ever uncovered, both in terms of its duration and the number of participants, and it led to the highest fines ever imposed, both overall and on a single company. The case was further distinguished by notable firsts. It marked the first successful implementation of the leniency program and the first major case resolved through a hybrid settlement procedure. Above all, the case had critical policy importance. Cartels in public tenders harm not only markets but society as a whole. They inflate costs for the public sector and deprive citizens of the fair value they should receive from the efficient use of public funds. That is why the construction cartel case sends such a clear and powerful message. Collusion in public tenders is among the most serious infringements and will not be tolerated. This case proved that the HCC is capable of handling complex, high-profile investigations, safeguarding competition, protecting public interest, and upholding the rule of law.
In 2019, the HCC launched an investigation into anti-competitive practices in the Greek banking sector. The authority conducted large-scale dawn raids in the premises of the 5 largest Greek banks and the Hellenic Bank Association, which resulted in the collection of vast amounts of both hard copy and digital documents. According to the available evidence, the largest Greek banks had engaged in a series of collusive practices, including the coordinated introduction of a new pricing model for cross-border and domestic interbank ATM withdrawals, the exchange of information on certain banking fees, and the collective adoption of measures to exclude a new rival from the market. The investigation resulted in the imposition of multi-million euro fines on the banks involved in the infringement, as well as on the Hellenic Bank Association. The HCC also imposed on the 5 banks concerned the obligation to lower the fees charged for interbank ATM withdrawals and to maintain the lower fees for a period of at least 3 years. Also, the Hellenic Bank Association undertook to implement an antitrust compliance program with a view to refrain from future infringements of competition law. In evaluating the available evidence, the case handler's work was facilitated by the use of modern technological tools and collaboration with HCC data science team.
Apart from the enforcement and merger activities, the HCC also demonstrates vigorous advocacy initiatives aiming at promoting competition, influencing legislation, improving enforcement and raising awareness about competition law and its benefits for the Greek economy and society. Some examples of this broad outreach are: we work on national and international projects on competition policy issues such as public tenders, capacity building, training projects, and training of judges. We have published numerous guides to inform consumers and stakeholders, such as the Guide for Franchise Agreements, the Guide for Small and Medium-Sized Companies, the Guide for Contracting Authorities in relation to public procurement, DMA Guide, the Guide for the Agricultural Sector, amongst others. We have also published a guide on designing public policies aiming to inform legislators and public entities about the need to safeguard competition when designing public policies and offer advice to ministries and regulators on integrating competition principles into economic, environmental, and social policies. We ensure transparency for our work and stakeholder engagement by publishing market mappings, sector inquiries, and regulatory interventions, and organizing public consultations prior to any relevant such decision. We have developed a whistleblower system by creating 2 state-of-the-art digital platforms to report anti-competitive practices, especially bid rigging, ensuring anonymous reporting for individuals working in procurement or competition-sensitive markets. We have made a significant outreach to universities throughout Greece, from the Aegean University to Athens, Thessaloniki and Ioannina, organizing visits, hosting lectures at our offices, organizing conferences, and we recently organized a datathon with the University of Ioannina to promote the practical use of data analysis on the market for extra virgin olive oil. This broad outreach shows how much the HCC invests in raising awareness and promoting competition policies.
In the Digital Forensics and Investigation Unit, our work is to collect digital evidence, process it, and then analyze it in order to provide case handlers with an effective way to find targeted information about their cases. This might sound straightforward, but in practice it's full of challenges. The first one is during a dawn raid, where we often deal with huge amounts of digital documents in different formats or data stored in the cloud. This means that every dawn raid brings new surprises. Thus, we must constantly update our methods. The next challenge is processing the acquired data. Since the volume of information has grown exponentially, we have modernized our infrastructure in order to handle this big data. We have also introduced new methods in order to process the acquired data more efficiently and deliver search engines much faster than before. The third challenge is the analysis part. Our work is based on commercial investigation tools for the screening and the review of the data. These sophisticated tools support case handlers in a seamless way. Many times, though, to uncover evidence, we need a smarter search. To keep up with latest advancements in the forensic science, we leverage data mining and AI methods for the review of the documents. These technologies can help us in different aspects of our needs, from grouping documents to finding similarities between them. A significant contribution to our efforts is the collaboration with other competition authorities and our participation in the EU-funded projects. Together, we're exploring how new technologies like generative AI could support competition law enforcement in the future. Our goal is simple and clear. We want to stay ahead of the challenges that come with the digital world and ensure that our investigations remain effective, efficient, and reliable.
Our mission is demanding and important. All the hard work and vision of those who have served the Hellenic Competition Commission throughout the years is with us today. We are committed to fulfilling our mandate, to evolve and to progress to meet the never-ending challenges.